Welcome to Raw Talk. As always, there's going to be a link down below in the description box to credit WWE. Brock Lesnar injures Cody Rhodes' arm in a backstage sneak attack. But did he actually injure it? As in, are they going to script it? Or did he truly, really get injured? I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. It really is. Like, look at Liv Morgan, Lita, all these different things. Like, it's hard to keep up. I think the Liv Morgan one is legit, but there's been instances in the past where that can be scripted. So it's just hard to tell. Paul Heyman reminded us of the tag team champions that are going to be defending against Solo and Roman. I'm just so excited to see this because I have a really cool feeling maybe somehow, some way, somewhere the Usos are going to interfere against the bloodline, but, you know, whatever. Matt Riddle emerged to help Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens when there was a brawl with Imperium. I tell you, man, I love Matt Riddle, and again, this is always, like, from a story perspective, right? I wonder what his motives are going to be long-term, because I'm actually really, really digging the trio, like, I mean a lot. Is Randy Orton just going to spring up out of nowhere someday and tell Matt Riddle, hey, man, those are our tag team champions belt, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, and I could have my information wrong, I don't even think Matt Riddle and Randy Orton lost their titles. I think they had to relinquish them as well, didn't they? No, they lost them to the Usos. I'm so sorry. But they did that on purpose because Randy Orton was injured. Yes, okay. So they relinquished it, but they didn't. But yes, okay. From a WWE storyline, they did lose them. But it just makes you wonder going forward what's going to happen with that. Bronson Reed, man. And Ricochet. Love Ricochet. Love Bronson. I'm really, really impressed with Bronson Reed. Like, I can't get enough. Right? Like, it's just amazing. So proud of him. And I hope he makes it far, man. When I compare him to the likes of, and it's hard not to do this, compare him to other big guys like your Earthquakes and your Typhoons from back in the 80s and 90s. This dude impresses me more. And I had such an attachment to, like, Earthquake, the natural disasters, right? And Typhoon, who used to be Tugboat. Google those if you're not sure who they are. This guy, man, is just something. Really, really is. And I was entertained. The Corey Graves, Seth Rollins interviews, I just really like them. Corey's very laid back, listens, and I just love how Seth fucking Rollins talks. It's amazing. Can you tell? I'm just a sucker for this stuff, man. It's just, I really enjoy it. And I told you so many times, too, what ends up happening back when I used to be super, super busy. I mean, I still am. And I used to kind of skip through the matches just to the end just to see the results so I could kind of keep up with the storyline. What I never skipped were the interviews, the backstage interviews or whatever, right? Sometimes I get almost just as much entertainment than what happens in the middle of the ring. Nikki Cross, again, with all due respect, I just don't have any, attachment to her. Nothing negative or positive, just kind of, Brock Lesnar jumps again Cody Rhodes, and then that's where Triple H later came in at the end and said, look, man, we all know your arm's broken. Wish he wouldn't have said that because it makes me wonder, even though he's still scheduled to fight this Saturday against Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, just like what's going to happen. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they potentially trying to injure him so that he doesn't go? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm digging it. I love Brock Lesnar, man, and Cody Rhodes, and I'm all in for this story. Again, and I know a lot of times I repeat a lot of the same things I say from week to week because it's the same thing going on. The Viking Raiders, they're good in the ring. I couldn't do what they do in the ring. Again, no attachment to them. But the Alpha Academy, as of late, I don't know what it is, but they're growing on me. And I'm really loving the whole Otis thing and Maxine Dupree. being at ringside, and she's kind of like a heel manager, and Otis is kind of like almost like a face, and Chad is still like a heel, and just that whole dynamic, it's really working, at least for me. I'm all in for it, and I'm really enjoying it. But when it comes to this match, I wish we would have seen a little bit more Otis. We already know Chad is just Superman in the ring. He's unbelievable. He's actually one of the best ever in the ring, just like a solid, safe performer in the ring. I would put him up there with people like Bret the Hitman Hart, believe it or not. Kurt Angle, like he's just so damn good. Shelton Benjamin, don't mess around with that dude, man. That guy's got more talent sometimes than I think people realize. Anyways, moving on. Finn Balor defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. I like the match. Simple as that. That's about how good I look until I wake up in the morning. It was great. Like I said, I'm so glad that Shinsuke's back. And, yeah, and it's just as simple as that. Not much else to say there. Now I got something to say about this. Raquel Rodriguez had to relinquish her title because I think, again, I don't know. I think Liv Morgan's actually injured with a shoulder injury, but then I heard something about an ankle. This is why you can't trust Reddit all the time. Sonya Deville impressed me here, and this just comes to show you what I've said before in the past. You can watch a superstar, a wrestler, whatever you want to call them, a performer in the middle of the ring, and they'll kind of look a little bit flimsy, a little bit loose, a little bit like, you know, awkward. That's actually not always the case with a superstar. Like, that's not actually always how they truly are. Sometimes they're trying to undersell themselves, so they almost oversell the performer they're going against that they know they're going to lose against. And I know this to be true because then I'll see them in another match and it's like, what just happened there? Is that the same person? Whereas, again, and, you know, she's with my man, woo, 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 you know it, Zack Ryder, Chelsea Green, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, exactly. I don't have much to say about her in-ring ability, whereas Raquel, I think, is very dominant. She's an amazing wrestler. And I think, actually, Sonya Deville is a little bit better than I kind of expected, because I hadn't seen her, like, wrestle a lot, like, one-on-one and all that. And then here I got to see that. She was, like, very aggressive and really in there, laid some good knees, and she took the bumps well, and I really overanalyzed the match there. And she actually did really well, and I just, no offense, don't know if Chelsea Green's capable of that. So when it comes to that whole women's tag team tournament thing and who's going to win, to be perfectly blunt, I just don't see Chelsea Green being victorious along with Sonya Deville. I just don't see it. What I would have wanted to see is Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi. Remember when she came out and then Raquel was in the ring and she just shot through her legs and boom. Like, that was just great. That was, like, really, really good. And I just think it's so stupid that they had to relinquish the title. Like, why can't she just bring in Shotzi and just have, you know, them be the champions? Like, why can't they just do that? But, whatever. Whatever. This is why I'm not a directive creator or whatever, and that's why Triple H is doing what he does. Now, this promo I really liked, and I'm on board with what Mr. Vince Russo had to say about Becky Lynch. She pulled a heel move. You can't do that. Well, I mean, you can do what you want, but Trish, oh man, Trish is just so good. Trish really is one of those pioneering women that showed that, you know what? We're more than just bra and panties matches and all this kind of ridiculous bullshit. We're more than just eye candy and all this sort of stuff. I mean, she legitimately is just on fire in the ring, on the microphone. She's so comfortable. She's really maintained tip-top competitive shape all these years. I have so much respect for her. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's Canadian. And that she kind of lives near me. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. Becky Lynch, I love. I think she's amazing, but I did not like the line where she was like, "You had or I've had a career you could only dream of." It's like, wait, what? No. You've both had amazing careers that are actually pretty comparable, but like on paper, I'm sorry, but I'm not saying Trisha's better. I'm just saying she can hold her own statistically speaking. It was kind of like a stupid line, and I'm not blaming Becky Lynch for that, the person, right? But it's a lie. She lied, and I completely agree with what Vince Russo said there. Like, it just made no sense to attack her that way. But it is what it is. Maybe I'm making too much of it. I'm just sharing my 2 cents, and they might not even be worth a penny for your thoughts. You see what I did there? Again, Dominic Mysterio defeats Apollo Crews. I got a lot to say about Apollo Crews, man. Same thing as Shelton Benjamin and a few other people. Apollo Crews is so insanely talented. I don't understand personally why he went back to NXT and kind of just faded into obscurity. Then he was the worldwide thing with Titus O'Neil and Dana Brooke, which I did enjoy. And then that just fizzled, and now it looks like he's back. And he's just as great as I always thought. Very solid in the ring. Again, Dominic Mysterio. What I did like about him defeating Apollo Crews, you don't always have to be big and buff and all this kind of stuff to win, right? Size is only one component. It's not the end-all, be-all to a fight, right? You have the big arms and look like Hulk Hogan and have a little pipsqueak like Conor McGregor that's going to mop the floor with you, right? So I do like that, because to me it is believable. A lot of people will tell me Dominic Mysterio is not believable. No, he's believable to me. And until you step foot in that ring and you start to dance with the people inside of that ring, you will find out so quickly how difficult it is for these men and women to do what it is they do. It is crazy. Okay? And I think, like I said, that Dominic Mysterio is truly shaping to be something amazing. I really do think he's got that potential. And he's able to work, pick people up. I'm not noticing any strength issues or awkwardness or botches like what happened in AEW. Okay? And then Rhea. Rhea's Rhea. She's amazing. I hope she stays champ for a long, long time. Like a long, long time. She totally deserves it. And then Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle defeat Imperium. And it was the highlight of the night, wasn't it? For me, at least. One of them. Just a solid match again. I'm really growing to like Imperium as a whole, not just Gunther, Ludwig, and the other guy, Giovanni. I keep forgetting their names. That's why I cheat sometimes, and I go to the top here. I said. Yeah, and I'll let Giovanni Vinci, because, it's like my cheat sheet. So I'm reminded of who participated here. I just loving him. It was a good, solid match, I thought. And Gunther, speaking of like title belts and Roman Reigns' ridiculous thing, love Roman Reigns to death. The person, the character as well, but that whole title thing, which is why Seth Rollins talks about, we need change here. We need an actual fighting champion, not somebody that defends the title 3 times a freaking week. What I love about Gunther, and he's got like the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship in modern history of the modern era, in like the past 30-something years, I think it is. He's always around. He might not always be like defending the title, but he's always participating. He's a fighting champion, right? Same thing with Austin Theory and all that. So, yeah. So all in all, I had fun. And then, the end, this is the part I didn't... Well, I liked it because it's very, like, movie-like. Like, they're just so good. But I really hope there's nothing wrong with Cody Rhodes' arm. Because, he was shelved for a year, right, for the torn pec, and that was real. That was not some script. This was the real McCoy, okay? Now, if we take a look at some of the stuff on the side, yeah, I really enjoyed this friendship here, Raquel and Shotzi saying, yeah, we're going to be, oh yeah, that's right, they're going to be fighting for the Tag Team Championships, I think it's next week, Again, these two, it's not that I have an issue with them. They're just not believable. But it could also be that Chelsea Green's just playing that very prissy, like, oh my God, like what the heck kind of persona a little too well. And I do find she pulls that off well. Again, Zoe Stark, I don't agree with Vince Russo on this. I like her. From what I've seen, I like... Wait a second. Now, the show was 3... Did she not wrestle? Why is that not on here? Did she not wrestle? I could have sworn I saw her wrestle. She wrestled someone. I can't remember. But either way, she won. Did she not wrestle? How was that not listed here? Come on, WWE, or am I losing my mind here? I think she wrestled. Either way, I like her, and I know nothing about her. So it's not that thing where somebody always has to grow on me and they have to have been around for a long time for me to like them. I liked her from the moment I saw her. I think it was last week on her debut. There was just something about her. I was like, you know what? I like this. And then the way she was on the camera, you know, not a lot of people are comfortable on the camera doing their little spiel. And I just, you know, I like her. It's really just as simple as that. Well, I mean, it's not that I didn't like that, but yeah. Yeah, can't think of anything else. Did I miss anything? I think that happened to me a couple of weeks ago where there was a match, and again, it had to do with the women's division, and it just wasn't in the recap. I was like, where is it? I was like, 'cause I know I saw her wrestle or do something. Zoe, that is. Maybe if you made it this far into the video and you watched Monday Night Raw, you can let me know. Did she wrestle, or am I just making shit up? I am like... Wow. We got one more SmackDown, like one more, you know, weekly show until Saudi Arabia. We are, as of the making of this video here, uploaded on Tuesday. Like 4 days. Well, not like 4 days. In 4 days. And in the afternoon at that. Not like late at night. Night of Champions. I think it's going to be a big one. It's going to be something special. And speaking of seeing double, I really, really hope this guy wins the World Heavyweight Championship. But you know what? If AJ Styles wins it, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm not. But I really want Seth Rollins to have it. Okay? So yeah, let me know down below. Chime in if you want what you think. Somebody commented on my WWE 2K23 video that I just uploaded and said, I like watching these. I love wrestling. I don't, no offense, watch the show. And he or she actually watches my recaps. And that's how they stay in the loop with what's going on in the wrestling world. And I said, yeah, but I talk so much. It's almost to a point where watching the actual show is probably quicker than the actual show. But anyways, if you liked it, the video that is, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. Didn't like it, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half and twist it, and I'll make sure you wake up in the middle of the night and at the top of your bedpost or whatever, Bronson Reed hits you like a hurricane, right? And yeah, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, does that even need to be said, stated? Naturally, that would be great, but if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.